When you think of cancelled games, you probably think of the original Star Wars Battlefront 3, Star Wars 1313, Silent Hills, Days Gone 2, Batman Gotham by Gaslight, and many more games. However, one game that never came out that hurts me arguably the most is the Flash video game. That's right, we've never had a video game that was official for the Scarlet Speedster that was, a console release and 3D, like open world type thing, which would have been amazing. Nowadays, we're getting very, very lucky because we're getting many fan-made games like Into the Speed Force that look absolutely insane, which I've covered, which you should watch after this video. But in this specific one, we're going to be looking at the Flash video game that was made by Bottle Rocket Entertainment and unfortunately cancelled. There's so much concept art, there's so many different things and tidbits and just information that, would have been amazing. So, let's get into it. First thing I'm going to be actually showing you here is a thread by someone called Mentally Insane Flash Enjoyer or FlashMentality over on Twitter, which, hell of a name, man. I love it. But the concept art was crazy. I haven't actually seen this before. So, the first thing we see here is the Wally West fan art. And this suit, like this whole Flash suit, looks insane. Like, this is peak. Like, look at this. Look at how fantastic this looks overall. Like, the golden belt, the logo, everything, the boots. It's just so good. Like, it's exactly like the, comic book design brought to life. And I absolutely love how faithful this design is. And then you've even got the T-pose here so you could see it a bit better, turning the model around and stuff. And it genuinely looks fantastic. Like, I feel like this was such a missed opportunity in terms of just how unlucky things worked out for the studio, which is so sad because they ran out of funds, and I'll get more into the details as we go around through this, but look at this. This would have been something fantastic, really. Then we also have the Flash J. Garrick, and his design is a bit lower quality. However, this is pretty much just straight from the comics as well. You've got like his helmet with the wings there, which is just great. You've also got a look without it as well. It's just pretty much exactly from the comics, right? And it just hurts so bad that we could have had all these playable speedsters and it just didn't really work out at the end. But we have Kid Flash Bart Allen, and Kid Flash in this game wouldn't have been Impulse, but this suit is quite interesting what they designed for him. Like, I actually kind of dig the design. I think it's very, very cool, especially with how heavy the red is, and then how there's still a bit of yellow on there. I think this is a very, very cool design, and I definitely want to hear what you guys think of it as well, because it does feel very Kid Flash-like at the same time. I actually like it, and I'm even more bummed that we didn't see this. Then we even had Jesse Quick. Put your hands up in the comments if you're a fellow Jesse Quick enjoyer, man, because this is such a sick design here as well. I think they've really cooked with all of these like looks. Like, look at this. Look at how cool this is. Like, you had two different versions. You had one where it's a bit more segmented here, and then you had one where it was more like this. And even at the logo, I kind of prefer this logo here, but at the same time kind of looks more like a Shazam type thing, so maybe that's why they settled for something like this. But I love the glasses and shielding. It's just so cool, man. And the hair would have looked awesome as you're running around. Like, I think this would have been so cool. And like having all the races and things like that around the city, because this definitely would have been like a co-op type game, I think, like, for sure. At the same time, like, would have been cool. And I feel like somebody should really take the chance now to really jump on this, because like we've had so many cool things. Like, we've had the Flash TV show, which lasted almost 10 years, which is insane. It was incredibly successful. The Flash movies with Ezra Miller, which we don't want to talk about, but the thing is still there. The success is still there, and it still did really well. So the fact that we don't have a video game at all just blows my mind, especially with how good the technology is now. Like, you've seen Marvel Spider-Man 2, how like the fast travel is nearly seamless. I feel like with a PS5 like SSD technology now, you could just run through a city at super fast speeds, and it would be able to handle that in the loading times, and even with how strong our PCs are nowadays too. And it just blows my mind that we don't have something like this yet. Now we have a character sheet of all the Flashes in the game. Very low quality this one, but you got Wally West, you've got Jay Garrick, you've got Bart Allen, and then you've got Jesse Quick. So that's like their comparisons. Of course, Wally's the most, like, he's beefy as hell. Then you've got Jay, and then like Impulse and Jesse. Jesse's more slim, and then Impulse is just shorter because he's younger and all that. So it's very, very cool. And then you've also got a Kid Flash suit for Wally West. That's pretty much an identical suit to what Bart would end up having. And I do wonder if maybe Bart ends up taking the old Kid Flash suit actually in this story, which would be interesting because, you know, Wally becomes the Flash, right? So that would have been an interesting dynamic to see, like, you know, Wally mentoring you know, Kid Flash. It would have been awesome to see, but it's so funny, the hair. But I think this is a very, very cool design still. I actually really like it. So this is the Wally West design for his Kid Flash suit, and the fact that we have it in such high quality is really, really cool. Like the fact that we can see the sort of behind the scenes and everything. And it looks really good actually for its time. Like, this is 2008, 2009. Still pretty decently early in development, of course, but you know, I think it still looks really good and has a lot of potential, and I really wish that somebody could pick up this concept and really expand upon it with, but I don't know if they'd really go for that whole comic book look, because, you know, now it's all about it being modern and realistic, like very realistic. But I really dig the whole like comic style here, and the suit even in 3D looks especially nice. And but seeing like an almost fully grown up like Wally West in the Kid Flash suit is pretty hilarious. But at the same time, I could dig this as like an alternate costume or something like that. Definitely does look nice, and I'm really, the more I see of this game, the more sad I get that we didn't get it. So again, another extra look at, you know, the Wally West suit. So, you know, you could see it from the concept bit all the way up into the 3D model here, and you get a turnaround, and he's like, so you see it's like a whole new model because he's way more slim here than in his like full on like Flash suit. Like, he just gets fully like ripped, and it's crazy to see the difference here actually between the models here. And now we're moving on to the villains, and the main antagonist of the Flash game would have been Zoom. That's right, Zoom. And obviously here they took pretty much the same suit and just changed the colors up to be Zoom colors, which obviously makes sense because that's kind of how it goes, right? And I think again this design is just peak. Now I do wonder which Zoom they would have gone with, like Professor Zoom. Well, if it's Wally West, it would have been the one that kind of stops time, right? Instead of being super fast, and because there's also like Reverse Flash Zoom as well, and that one's the one that's the enemy of Barry. Like, it kind of gets complicated. There's a lot of zooming around, you know. But this design, it's really, really nice, and I would have really wished we could have gotten this, or at least to see him in game. Another character would have been Mirror Master as well. So we're really going through all of the Flash's rogues, and I really like this Mirror Master design. Again, I think like all of these are very, very faithful to their like comic book counterpart designs. Like, it's pretty much you just took it out of the comic book and made a game out of it, and that would have been fantastic. Like, having a Flash game alongside the Arkham games would have been such a cool timeline, but unfortunately it just didn't work out. It genuinely didn't. Then we have Weather Wizard, and Weather Wizard looks pretty cool here actually. Like, bro's got a full-on cape, and you know, interesting design. Obviously he's not playable because he's a villain you fight, but it would have been cool to see like what kind of mechanics they would have had for him. Would he have created like tornadoes? Would he have shot you with lightning, and then you could repurpose lightning and throw it back at him? Like, there's a lot of things that could have been done there to really sort of spice up the gameplay and sort of figure it all out. And then we even had like a 3D model here, so they got pretty far with the models. And the 3D model does look pretty nice too, like especially with the cape and everything. I think this had a lot of potential here. Then Weather Wizard's henchmen, which obviously, you know, I feel like all these villains would have henchmen around the city that you'd have to fight. And obviously that would have added more to the game, spiced it up a bit more with different like factions and things that you'd encounter. Would have been pretty fun to see. Speed demons. Now, what speed demons are, they're soldiers that have super speed that attack you through these suits. And I think, is that Lex? Or so, I can't really read that, but yeah, they would have had like artificial speed force and then they'd like run alongside you and try to attack you, which would have been a really cool enemy type to fight, like as you're running around the city. It definitely had a lot of potential there. And then like obviously each of these demons probably would fight different ways, so I feel like the more slimmer ones would be like more speed type, and then these ones with the gauntlets would probably like have things that they shoot at you, and this would be more of a brawler type, I feel like. So yeah, he's a knight. This one's a bomber. Yeah, speed demon, dawn. Yeah, I see. So yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Captain Cold, Leonard Snart. I really like this design. Like, again, straight up out of the comic books. It would have been really fun. Like, probably freezes you in place or makes you like slip up and fall down. Like, it would have been so sick to fight, and I love the designs. Even Gorilla Grodd is here as well, which is crazy. Like, when I say they straight up got the entire Rogues Gallery, they pretty much got the entire Rogues Gallery, which is just insane to see. And then even like Tar Pit as well. Like, so Tar Pit is one of those ones that would have been a huge enemy to fight, and it would have been interesting to see how he affected the environment and everything like that. Like, this game really went all out with the Flash here. And even like Abracadabra, who's like a wizard as well, or I think he's from the future. I don't know how he is in the comic books, but in the show he's from the 42nd century or something like that. Maybe he is here as well, I don't know, and he uses technology to kind of make himself look like a wizard, I guess. Then we even had some like, oh yeah, these are Cadmus guys, so I guess Cadmus would have been the soldiers that got super speed enhanced as well, so that's interesting, right? Cadmus, common enemies. And then this is a huge one here that you see. It's like it's got all the, you know, comparisons of all the sizes between all the enemies that you'd have. So, you know, you got Wally, you got Jay, you got Kid Flash, Jesse Quick, you've got Leonard Snart, Captain Cold, Gorilla Grodd, Mirror Master, Weather Wizard. Is this the top, or what's his name? I know this one. Yeah, it would have been very interesting. You've even got Tar Pit there, Abracadabra, you've got Zoom, and then you've got those henchmen as well. So it's like it's a lot. They got pretty far into all the designs. And then yeah, like genuinely we've even had some, like, this is what the start menu would have looked like. So it just, he comes in and then it's like all these comic book effects with a lightning bolt. Like, it's so sick, man. They were really going all in with the art for this and keeping it very faithful to the designs. And I know like everyone that loves Wally West Flash would have really wanted this, and even Barry Allen people would have wanted this too, right? And then if they did something updated for this day, they probably would have included like Barry Allen in this game too, to some extent, or maybe like an alternate costume of Barry's. Like, it would have been really cool. So this is a loading screen / main menu, again in better quality. You can see it here. Then we've got another one, and this is like a pretty much like a teaser, like, you know, the Flash coming in 2009, and then it never showed up. But this would have been so cool to have seen be released. And then we even have like a Captain Cold sort of like loading screen here as well, which looks great. So there's that. And then we've also got like the Flash video game Central City tour, so it's just Flash running around. And this was uploaded by misterbigmouth, and that's one of the people that was working on this game. Obviously uploaded this to just kind of see if we could get any interest, and there's like 3.5 million views on this from 10 years ago, like up until now. So the interest is still there, people still want this, and I want you guys to support the video that I made now as well, to kind of see, and so we can kind of gauge the interest and see if people really want a Flash game made by like a AAA studio. I don't know, like maybe we could get Warner Brothers on it, but as long as it's like a single player experience, and you know, if they want to monetize it with skins, like, I don't care. That's fine, that type of monetization, I think. But anything else is, you know, it's pretty much a gray area to really, you know, go for. But like, look at this. This is from 2008, 2009, like on the Xbox 360 type hardware. It's like obviously buildings pop in and things, but the fact that you could go this fast, avoid cars and everything, it had so much potential. And then, you know, you could hear all the sound and everything. I don't know, man, like, it just looked really good. And you've even got the mini-map at top left, so you can kind of see where you're going, which is really cool. And then, you know, he kind of slows down here to turn, and then he's probably going to speed back up again. Oh, and there's the statue, and when he stopped, there was like papers there. That was sick. That was actually so cool. Then we've got the combat test, which is one of the more interesting things about this game, because it like you'll see in a second. So wait, yeah, let's go through the loading screen here, or the start screen, you know. And then yeah, here's the combat. So he presses square, runs around, presses square to like kind of punch him, and then it has like a kind of slow motion effect, and he's fighting the Cadmus soldiers here. It's like, look at this. It was sick, like the slow motion bits and everything, and the camera angles. Like, I don't know, man. Like, this would have been so fun. I probably would have spent so many hours in this. I don't know if this is actually how it goes in the game, but if it is, that would have been so dope. Like quick time events, and then like he even has a flash tornado, and dude, he's just like destroying them. They stand no chance, and like, I'm so sad. This would have been so fun. Like, if there was a way to ever get like a demo out there of what they had, and they want to release it so people can kind of play it for themselves, that would be awesome. Because like, we were so close to the game coming out. And look, he even yeets that guy. So it's one of those things where it's just such a bummer. It really is. Like, it just looked so fun. It felt like a Tony Hawk GTA type game with the Flash, right? It's like, you'll see the traversal in a bit as well, like when you go around the rooftops and everything. But wow, man, just, oh, look at this. He's got the like speed mirage. That's sick. Yeah, wow. And look, they're just like, they just pose up and then they disappear. That is so cool. Oh man, yeah, that would have been sick. You know, then we've got like the Keystone City art test here. So this is, you know, just walking around Keystone City and looking around. You've got a lot of cars, a really big number of NPCs, surprisingly, like for what the hardware is. Like, that's actually pretty mind-blowing to me, how many NPCs there are kind of walking around with all the different cars and things. Obviously, cars would repeat, but I don't really care about that. You're more so looking at where Wally's running. But the city is very well detailed here as well, and looks great. So there is that, of course. But just, it's crazy, man. Like, they got so far. Like, this looks very nice, and even the Speed Force effects and the running does look nice. Like, I don't know, man. There's so much potential there. And then here's the running combat here that you're gonna see. So check this out. Then the Cadmus Speed Force enemies are gonna show up. So I'm excited to see them pop in. Alright, where are they at? Does he run into them, or did they just show up out of nowhere? I think they just run up behind them. But also like the wind effects there as well. I think, yeah, there they are. They just show up in front of them. So now you kind of catch up to them. Yeah, that's such a cool concept. So you kind of go back and forth and the camera just locks in. Oh, he just smacked them into the wall there. Nice. Yeah, that's really interesting, actually. Like, genuinely, this is really interesting and a very smart way to make the combat work. And then he can just kind of run away from them. So there's that as well. I mean, man. I don't know. I think this had so much potential. If you want to see something really cool of a Flash game that could work in the modern time, click on this video here. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this game. Have a wonderful day. Peace.